Welcome back into the Washburn Football Preview Series, everybody. We are inching closer towards game day. That is right. We are just 2 days away from the 2022 season opener for the Washburn Ichabods, as the Washburn Ichabods taking on the Lincoln Blue Tigers coming up on September the 1st, 2 days away. 6 o'clock kickoff, 5:30 pregame coverage right here on your home for Washburn Athletics, Country 106.9. And My Country 106. This video series, we're going to try to do a lot more of these video series coming up here on this YouTube page and on our website. So stay tuned. If you want to hit the subscribe button, you'll have those whenever we post videos, game recaps, previews coming up for games, all sorts of good stuff coming up here on www.newsnow.com. We continue the 2022 preview with the top 10 headlines. We started at number 10 with the expectations, whittled all the way down. Number 3 yesterday was the safeties and the corner. Now we get to the number 2 headline, and that is the linebackers. If you were to say what position has been the strongest year after year in the Craig Schurig era, it would be linebacker. You might as well call it linebacker U. We got multiple All-Americans, including Grant Gould and Zach Watkins. You got fantastic linebackers dating back into the early 2000s and Bruce Ringwood. How about Jamil Taylor, Bryce Atagi, Derek McGreevy, Austin Tillman, along with the 3 graduating seniors last year, and Garrett Barnett Kruger. Those 3 were very, very good and were a reason why this defense was so good last year. Peevler, Anderson, and GBK combined for 137 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and an INT a year ago. This is the one position that Washburn doesn't return a bevy of players at. This, to me, might be the biggest question mark of the defense. The secondary, you got the safeties, all those defensive linemen, have a couple corners back. You got a lot of depth everywhere else, but maybe not at the linebackers play in 22 could be a big reason for success. Now, Washburn does have one linebacker coming back from a year ago, and it's a good one. Grant Bruner, been a 3-year starter for this Ichabod team, and if you wanted to have a linebacker back, it would be Grant Bruner. He has had a very nice career. Bruner led the team in tackles in 2019 with 73, dealt with a lot of injuries last year, but did come back and had that monster 20-tackle effort in the game against Pittsburgh State, earned himself Player of the Week. Also had 15 tackles, and he is healthy. Graham Bruner is a tackling machine. He will be the leader of this defense. You can tell talking to some players in the offseason and fall camp, he's kind of the leader of that defense, being the old veteran that he is. Now, how will they end up providing depth? That's the big question. Last year, you had 4 linebackers, as I mentioned. This year looks to be senior Derek McClendon. Saw action in every game last year, recorded 26 tackles. That's nice to see. Also, junior Brent Peevler also had a handful of tackles a year ago. Got some reps in. He'll be this year. Those would be kind of the 3 linebackers that Washburn is going to be looking for this coming year. Bruner has to stay healthy. And if Bruner stays healthy, he should be on the field for probably 80 to 90% of the snaps. The other linebacker spot, you can see Derek McClendon, and then you'll see Brent Peevler, both who should take a big step forward in their season this year. So the senior McClendon and the junior Peevler will have some big roles this year. Another senior who played a little bit last year will be Alex Thomas. That's going to be another one. So those are one starting returner, couple guys who played a little bit, and then the final one hasn't played a ton, but will be asked to step in case there is an injury, because linebacker is such a physically demanding sport. Now, the best news for the linebackers is they got that defensive line. A defensive line who's big and strong and can keep offensive linemen off the linebackers is a linebacker's favorite thing. So the fact that this defensive line should be really, really good is going to be a big impact. One other positive. This is a group, you need linebackers to cover all 53 1/3 width of the field. Got to be able to cover tight ends, got to be able to cover running backs. This is a group that should be able to do that. So this is a team that's got a lot of speed. Peevler can run, McClendon can run, Bruner can run. All of these guys can find a way to get that done. But this is a question mark, and really the only first time that Washburn hasn't had a ton of linebackers returning. Now, if you go back 2 years ago, last year had a lot of people back. or was kind of a question mark, Brooks Peterson stepped in very, very well. So hopefully that this group can continue that trend of linebackers. Don't forget, coming up now tonight, we've got 2 days left, we got the Washburn Coaches Show from Skinny Sports Bar and Grill from 6 to 7. Come check that out at Skinny's. If you need tickets, American Family Insurance agents will be there doling out tickets for the game coming up on Thursday for the season opener. Coming up next, you probably have an idea of what our number one headline is going into this 2022 season. It is no surprise. It's quarterbacks coming up tomorrow as we are inching closer towards game day here on this Washburn Preview Series.